I don't like when you show off your body because it feels like I'm losing the intimacy we once had. It's not about jealousy, it's about feeling invisible while you seek attention I used to give freely. I hate seeing. I hate seeing. When you flaunt yourself, I feel like my heart is being ignored, even when you're standing right there. I don't want to control you. I just wish I still felt like the only one who mattered. Your body is a temple. Yes, but I wish its doors weren't always open to strangers' eyes. I feel lost in a crowd of admirers while longing to be the only one you see. Every time you show off, a piece of the closeness we had slips quietly away. I don't like when you flaunt your beauty because I miss the days when it was only for me. You shine, but sometimes I feel blinded, longing for a private glow we once shared. I'm not trying to be possessive, just desperately wanting to feel. Treasured the way I used to, I feel a distance growing with every post, every glance, every smile shown to the world. I wish the confidence you display for others were saved for the moments we share alone. It's not vanity I resist. It's the feeling that I'm no longer enough to make you radiant. I don't like when you show off because it reminds me that attention is fleeting and so are we. I itch for the private laughs, the gentle touches, the unseen moments that once meant everything. I wish I could be proud of you without feeling like I'm competing with the world. Every glance they throw your way feels like a silent reminder that I'm watching from the sidelines. I miss the days when your beauty was ours, not a show for anyone else. I don't hate you, I just feel a quiet pain seeing my world center step onto someone else's stage. I long for the intimacy that gets lost every time attention drifts away from us. When you flaunt yourself, I feel a secret heartbreak that I can't explain to anyone else. I don't want to control, I want connection. It hurts when attention replaces affection. Your body is yours, but my heart still remembers when it was a private treasure. I feel invisible behind the crowd that claps while my heart quietly pleads for your gaze. Every smile shown to others whispers that maybe I'm no longer enough for you. I don't like when you show off because it's a reminder of what we're quietly losing. I wish you'd see how showing off can build walls between us instead of closeness. I feel a strange loneliness watching your beauty unfold for the world and not just for me. I don't hate your freedom. I mourn the private moments that vanish with every public display. I wish our love could feel sacred in the way your body now feels public. I ache silently when I realize admiration replaces intimacy in the spaces we once filled together. I don't like when you show off because it reminds me that hearts, like bodies, need boundaries too. Every glance from others chips at the quiet sanctuary we build between us. I'm not angry, I'm just nostalgic for the closeness that public attention steals from us. I wish I could compete with the world's gaze, but my heart feels lost in the spotlight. I don't like when you show off because I miss the small gestures that spoke louder than admiration. It's not jealousy, it's a quiet ache, wishing I was the only one who made you radiant. I feel a subtle heartbreak each time your beauty becomes a performance instead of a private treasure. I don't hate the admiration you receive, but I mourn the intimacy quietly, slipping away. I long for the warmth we had before attention replaced the closeness we shared. I don't like when you flaunt your body because it reminds me our world is no longer just ours. Your glow is undeniable, but I ache for the glow that once belonged only to us. I miss the moments when love, admiration was the reason for your radiance. I don't like when you show off because my heart remembers a time when I was the reason. Every glance from strangers pierces silently, reminding me of a distance growing too quiet to speak. I'm not controlling, I'm just longing for the private magic that used to define us. I don't like when attention replaces intimacy because it leaves my heart quietly aching. I wish our love could feel untouchable again, private and cherished beyond the eyes of others. I feel a quiet longing every time your beauty becomes a spectacle and we fade behind it. I don't like when you show off your body. It reminds me love is not always enough. I ache for the closeness lost in public admiration, wishing we could retreat towards ours. Every smile to the world feels like a goodbye to the intimacy we once held. I don't hate the world seeing your beauty, but I miss being the reason for it. I wish the radiance you show publicly would echo in the quiet moments we still share. I feel lost every time your beauty becomes a spectacle, while I silently wish it was ours alone. I don't like when you show off, because it reminds me of how private love can slowly fade. Every glance from others feels like a quiet punch to the heart that still longs for you. I ache for the days when your blow was reserved only for my eyes, not the crowd. I don't want to control you. I just wish my presence could make your beauty enough. Seeing you flaunt yourself makes me realize how fragile intimacy can be when attention drifts away. I miss the times your smile was only for me, not for likes, not for applause. I don't like when you show off because I feel like I'm competing with the world I can't win. Every public glance you give someone else quietly steals a memory we could have shared alone. I long for the closeness we had before admiration replaced affection in every gesture. I don't hate your confidence. I miss the intimacy that once made it special between us. Your beauty deserves applause, yes, but my heart aches for the quiet moments that were ours. I feel invisible in the crowd of admirers while secretly hoping you'll see only me. I don't like when you show off because love loses its intimacy when the world becomes the audience. I ache silently, wishing your radiance was something private, something only I got to witness. Every time you flaunt your body, it whispers that my love might no longer be enough. I don't want to stifle your freedom. I just want the heart that chose me to feel seen. I miss the days when your beauty wasn't a performance, but a promise we shared privately. I don't like when you show off because it reminds me that closeness can be fragile. Your admiration from strangers hurts my quiet heart that longs to be your entire world. I ache for the intimacy that slips away every time attention drifts to someone else. I don't hate you. I mourn the private love that now hides behind public eyes. I feel a quiet heartbreak whenever your beauty becomes a stage, not a sacred connection. I wish I could compete with the world's gaze, but my heart only wants your eyes. I don't like when you show off, because it turns moments of love into moments of longing. Every smile for someone else silently reminds me that we are no longer the center of our own universe. I ache for the closeness that disappears behind every shared glance with the world. I don't like when you show off your body because it makes me wonder if my love is enough. I long for the days when your beauty was intimate, quiet, and ours alone to cherish. I feel like a ghost watching my world's center step into the spotlight of others' admiration. I don't like when you show off because it reminds me how fleeting attention can be, even from love. I miss the private smiles, the gentle touches, the moments that never need it. I just want to feel treasured as the one who truly sees it. Every glance you give someone else quietly shatters the closeness I thought was ours forever. I don't like when you show off because it turns affection into a performance I can't watch. I ache for the love that existed before public admiration replaced the intimacy we had. I feel a quiet grief when your beauty is shared, but my heart is left watching silently. I don't like when you show off. It reminds me that hearts, like love, need boundaries too. I long for the glow that was ours alone, untainted by applause or the world's eyes. I don't like when you show off your body because I miss being the reason your heart shines. Every crowd that admires you takes a piece of the private connection I still crave. I don't hate your attention, but I mourn the intimacy quietly, slipping through our fingers. I ache for the closeness lost behind every smile for someone else. I don't like when you show off because my heart longs for a love that feels sacred. I feel invisible when admiration replaces affection, quietly wishing I could be enough. I ache for the quiet moments before attention replaced the closeness between us. I don't like when you show off because it turns love into a display I can't hold. I feel a silent heartbreak every time your body becomes an audience's prize instead of a private treasure. I long for the days when your radiance was reserved for me, not for the applause of others. I don't like when you show off because it reminds me that admiration cannot replace affection. I age silently, wishing love could feel intimate again, not just seen by strangers. I don't hate your freedom. I just miss the closeness it quietly replaces. I feel the emptiness of intimacy fading with every glance you give to the crowd. I don't like when you show off your body because my heart still wants to be the only audience. I don't like when you show off because every gaze from strangers feels like my heart is fading. I ache quietly when your beauty becomes public while I silently hope to be your only witness. I feel invisible when admiration replaces the private love we once shared so freely. I don't hate your confidence. I miss the intimacy it now shadows. Every time you flaunt yourself, I lose a little of the closeness I thought was ours forever. I long for the days when your beauty was a secret we alone held sacred. I don't like when you show off because it turns our love into spectacle I can't touch. I ache for the private smiles and quiet touches that now vanish in public attention. I feel a subtle heartbreak when admiration becomes louder than the connection we once cherished. I don't like when you show off. It makes me wonder if I was ever truly enough. Every glance at others steals a memory that I thought belonged only to us. I wish your blow was something private, something reserved for the moments we share alone. I don't like when you show off because it reminds me how fragile intimacy can be. I ache silently when attention replaces affection, longing for the closeness that slips away. I feel a quiet emptiness, watching admiration replace the love we built behind closed doors. I don't hate you, I just miss the intimacy that once made your beauty ours alone. Every smile for someone else quietly pierces the heart that still hopes to be your world. I don't like when you show off, because public praise can never replace private love. I long for the quiet moments when your beauty felt intimate, sacred, and just for me. I feel my heart ache every time your blow becomes a stage instead of a private treasure. I don't like when attention replaces closeness, because love loses its warmth in the crowd. I ache for the days when admiration wasn't louder than the whispers of our connection. Give others quietly erases what was ours. I don't like when you show off, because it turns the love I hoard into something I can only watch. I wish the private affection we shared could feel as alive as your public glow. I ache silently. Every time, it comes a performance rather than a shared treasure. I don't hate your freedom. I mourn the intimacy quietly fading behind public eyes. I feel a quiet heartbreak when closeness slips away, replaced by the gaze of strangers. I don't like when you show off, because it makes me feel like love can be stolen by attention. I long for the sacred connection we once held before admiration took the stage. I ache every time my heart watches admiration replace affection quietly and invisibly. I don't like when you flaunt yourself, because it reminds me that intimacy can be fragile. I feel my love fading into the crowd that now observes what I used to hold. I don't hate your confidence, but I miss the closeness it now overshadows. I ache for the private moments that vanish with every glance from strangers. I don't like when you show off, because it turns our love into a story I can only witness. I feel a subtle grief when attention takes the place of affection I once knew. I long for the days when your beauty was just for me, not the eyes of the world. I don't like when admiration replaces intimacy because my heart still hopes to be your center. I ache silently for the closeness lost behind every public smile you give. I don't like when you show off your body. It makes me feel invisible in a crowd of admirers. Every time you flaunt yourself, my heart quietly longs for the private connection we once shared. I feel a quiet emptiness when public attention replaces the love we built in silence. I don't hate your confidence. I just mourn the intimacy that quietly fades away. I ache for the secret moments that vanish whenever admiration becomes louder than affection. I don't like when you show off because it reminds me how fleeting attention can feel in love. I feel invisible when my heart watches your glow shared with everyone but me. I don't like when attention replaces intimacy because love loses its sacred warmth in the crowd. I ache silently for the closeness that disappears behind every public glance. I don't like when you show off your body. I long to feel the private magic we once had. Every crowd that admires you quietly takes a piece of the connection I still crave. I don't hate the applause. I just wish the private love still belonged to us. I feel a subtle heartbreak whenever your beauty is shared, leaving my heart watching quietly. I don't like when you show off because my heart still wants to be the only ones. I long for the glow that once belonged to our quiet, sacred moments alone. I don't like when admiration replaces love. It turns intimacy into something I can only observe. I ache silently. The closeness we once had, now overshadowed by public attention.